Today we are taking a look at Viper from Goddess of Victory, NIKKE. This is the Shine of Love version figure in the Noodle Stopper Figure line by FuRyu. Goddess of Victory, NIKKE is a science fiction action RPG centered on humanity's struggle to reclaim the surface. Within that story, Viper is known for her charming manner, composed presence, and the more dangerous side hidden beneath her friendly impression. Today's highlights for this figure are the deeply dimensional shirt, the clearly defined body lines, and the seated pose surrounded by long flowing hair. The first highlight is the dimensional shirt. The broad folded collar, the sections resting below the shoulders, the raised fabric around the chest, and the front panels gathering toward the waist are all placed at different depths. The shirt also continues into the partially hidden areas beneath the collar and around the chest, so even the inside surfaces that are difficult to see from the front have been fully sculpted. This gives the open shirt a convincing sense of thickness and prevents it from feeling like a simple outer shell. The second highlight is the body line. The open edges of the shirt follow the outer curves of the chest before narrowing toward the waist, while the short hem overlaps the upper thighs. The shoulders, chest, waist, hips, and legs connect in a smooth sequence, but the choker, silver heart charm, bra, shirt, and lower garment remain clearly separated. The two legs also leave the hips at different angles, adding another change of direction to the lower half. The third highlight is the pose. Her face angles upward, one arm lowers toward the waist, and the other bends beside the body with the hand raised. One leg extends forward while the other bends deeply toward the rear, creating several crossing directions within the seated arrangement. The long hair curves around the waist and legs, linking the face, arms, hips, and feet into one wide flowing silhouette. This channel brings you figure reviews and anime merchandise updates straight from Japan. If you enjoyed this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe. The face angles slightly upward, with rounded cheeks narrowing gently toward the chin before connecting to the slender neck. Her large eyes combine deep reddish purple with brighter pink, while the strong upper eyelid lines and outward extending lashes give them a clearly defined outline. The gaze shifts slightly away from the center, and together with the raised angle of the face, it creates a calm and composed expression. Pale pink coloring spreads beneath the eyes, and a small beauty mark is placed near the outer area of one eye. The mouth is formed from a thin red line that curves upward gently, completing the soft smile without overpowering the rest of the face. The bangs are divided into several narrow sections above the eyebrows. Shorter strands gather near the center, while longer pieces descend beside the face and reach close to the chin. Several short strands rise from the crown and add small changes to the rounded outline of the head. The rear hair flows down beyond the waist before separating into multiple thick sections. These sections spread outward, form broad curves and loops, and turn inward again near their pointed ends. The main pale pink tone changes into a light violet along the inner surfaces of the curled sections, making the direction of each fold easy to follow. An accessory is attached beside the ear, combining a transparent curved section with silver and white parts. The white ribbon above and below the silver center carries a gray check pattern, while additional white sections with finely waved edges hang beneath it. The transparent section follows the outside of the ear and sits in front of both the ribbon and the long rear hair, keeping each layer clearly separated. A white choker circles the neck with a silver heart charm hanging from a short connector at the front. The heart rests between the collarbones and remains separate from both the shirt and the clothing beneath it. The white shirt has a broad collar folded outward and an opening that extends from the neck to below the shoulders. Thin white straps rise inside this opening, while a white bra with finely scalloped edges appears beneath them. Small raised details follow the upper edge of the bra, and the two cups are divided clearly around the center of the chest. The shirt panels pass around the outer curves of the chest before drawing inward toward the center of the waist. The shirt has considerable depth across the torso. The fabric rises over the chest, drops inward beneath the rounded curves, and gathers into narrow folds along the sides of the waist. Its inner surfaces continue beneath the folded collar and through the partially hidden spaces around the chest. Although these areas are difficult to see from the front, the shirt remains fully sculpted inside instead of ending along the visible outer edges. This creates clear layers between the folded collar, the inner face of the shirt, the bra, and the body beneath them. The shirt rests below the shoulders and gathers around the upper arms. The long sleeves develop several folds from the elbows to the wrists and become fuller around the wide cuffs. One arm lowers toward the waist, where a lightly closed hand emerges from the sleeve. The other arm bends upward beside the body, with individually separated fingers and white painted nails extending beyond the folded cuff. Below the waist, the front panels of the shirt gather near the center before spreading into a short hem over the upper thighs. The edge follows the rounded form of the legs, while the fabric separates into a narrow opening along the outer area of the hip. From lower angles, a white lower garment can be seen beneath the shirt, with its edge following the line around the hips. The leg extending toward the viewer narrows gradually from the thigh through the knee and continues in a long line toward the ankle. Pale pink coloring is placed across the knee and blends gently into the surrounding surface. The other leg opens away from the body before bending deeply at the knee, bringing the foot around toward the rear. Because the legs leave the hips at different angles, the lower body develops an open arrangement beneath the short shirt instead of forming one compact seated shape. Thin white ribbons wrap around the lower part of the extended leg and cross diagonally as they move toward the ankle. A tied section sits along the outer area with a loop and two long hanging ends formed as separate sections. The foot points downward and all 5 toes are individually divided. The foot of the bent leg is also completed through the toes and turns outward in response to the angle of the knee. The long hair passes beneath the waist and spreads around the legs. Some sections curve behind the thigh, while others fold back beside the lower leg. These sweeping ends overlap the shirt hem and surround the lower body with several broad curves, connecting the waist, legs, and feet within the seated pose. This figure is approximately 15 centimeters tall. That's about 5.9 inches. For size comparison, here's a 350 milliliter can. That's about 12 ounces in the US. Overall, Viper by FuRyu stands out because this figure combines a calm expression, a deeply layered white shirt, long flowing hair, and a seated pose that guides the eye naturally across the whole piece. The face leaves a soft and composed first impression. The reddish purple and pink eyes are framed by strong upper eyelid lines and long lashes, while the pale coloring beneath the eyes, the small beauty mark, and the gently raised mouth complete the expression without making it overly dramatic. The hair strengthens that presentation very effectively. The bangs are divided into shorter central sections and longer strands that frame the sides of the face. Behind them, the hair continues beyond the waist and separates into several thick sections that curve outward, form broad loops, and turn inward again near the ends. The change from pale pink to light violet along the inner surfaces makes those large curves easier to follow. The transparent silver and white ear accessory adds another layered accent, with the gray check pattern remaining clear across the ribbon. The upper body works well because the clothing layout and the pose support each other closely. The white choker and silver heart charm create a clear focal point at the neck. And from there, the eye moves into the broad folded collar and the open front of the shirt. The bra and thin straps remain visible inside that opening, while the shirt rises around the chest and gathers toward the waist. The hidden inner surfaces beneath the collar and around the chest are also fully sculpted, giving the shirt convincing depth even in areas that are difficult to see directly. One arm lowers toward the waist, while the other bends upward beside the body, keeping the upper half active. The lower body gives the figure much of its flowing shape. The short shirt hem overlaps the upper thighs, while the white lower garment remains visible beneath it from lower angles. One leg extends forward and the other bends deeply toward the rear, creating a strong contrast in direction. The crossed white ribbons add detail around the extended lower leg, and both feet are completed through the individually divided toes. What makes the figure especially effective is the way all of these elements connect. The eye can move from the face through the open shirt and waist, continue down the extended leg, and then return through the sweeping hair and raised arm without feeling interrupted. Because of that, fans of Goddess of Victory, NIKKE, or Viper will likely enjoy this piece very much. Collectors who like calm expressions, deeply layered clothing, and seated poses with a wide flowing silhouette should find it a very satisfying addition. That's it for this video. If there's any part of the figure you liked, feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.